the one who is still drafting all the blog posts manually, then this video is definitely for you. So hello all, welcome back to Pabbly Connect, and in this video we are going to understand how to generate blog posts using an AI agent from Notion. So over here I'm a content creator and we regularly have to generate more blogs, but this was such a time consuming and a tedious process to draft the blogs regularly and manually. So to solve this problem, I simply created this automation where what is happening is that as soon as I'm just going to add the blog title and the target audience in my Notion database, automatically my AI agent, which is OpenAI, is going to generate a blog, and further I'm just going to add that blog into my Google document, and again I'm just going to update that link in my Notion database for further reviews. So easy, right? So to do this, we are simply going to create a connection between Notion, our AI agent, which is OpenAI, Google Docs, and then again Notion. And to create this connection without knowing any programming or coding language, we are going to use Pabbly Connect. It is an amazing automation software. So do you also want to create this automation and generate blogs automatically? Then for that you have to come with me towards my screen.
Welcome to my screen. So in this video, we learn how to generate blog posts using an AI agent from Notion. So if you also spend hours writing blog content, this automation will save your time and effort. So with this setup, you just need to add a topic and key points in Notion, and the AI agent is going to generate a complete blog post for you. Something like this. This ensures consistency, improves efficiency, and helps you to publish content faster. So stay with me as I show you how this process is set it up. And to automate this, I've simply opened the landing page of Pabbly by searching pabbly.com/connect in my browser. It is very easy, and as soon as we're going to open the landing page of Pabbly, we are going to get two options. One is sign in and the other one is sign up for free. So if you are a new user, you can click on this sign up for free and you're going to get 100 of tasks free every month to explore the application. But over here I'm an existing user, so I'm just going to click on this sign in, and now it is opening all Pabbly apps, and over here you can see all the tools and applications offered by Pabbly. But in today's video we are going to use Pabbly Connect because we are connecting different applications. So I'm just going to click on this access now right over here to access my Pabbly Connect account, and now it is opening my dashboard. And to start with this automation, we simply have to click on this button right over here which says create workflow, and now it is asking me for the workflow name and the folder I want to save the workflow in. So over here I want to save the workflow in this folder which is automations, and I want to name my workflow as this, which is how to generate blog posts using an AI agent from Notion. And then we are simply going to click on this button right over here which says create, and as soon as we're going to click on this create, it is opening the most important window of our automation, which is our workflow window. So this is the most important window because we have trigger and action in this. So trigger and actions are the two main principles on which our workflow will run. Trigger means when this happens and action means do this. So by this you can understand that the actions are response towards the commands given by our trigger, and that's the particular reason that we can have only a single trigger but multiple actions following the commands of our trigger in a particular workflow. And to get started, we simply have to select our trigger application. So I'm just going to search for Notion right over here and select Notion as my trigger application. Alright, and now for the trigger event, I'm just going to select it as new database item, and then we are simply going to click on this connect. And now I'm just going to connect my Notion account with my Pabbly Connect workflow. And now for that, it is saying add a new connection or select an existing connection. So if you've already connected your Notion account, you can click on this select existing connection and then save. But if you haven't, you have to follow me, click on add a new connection, and now we have to click on this blue button which says connect with Notion. And as soon as we're going to click on this blue button which says connect with Notion, it is asking me for some permissions. So I'm just going to give Pabbly permissions for some pages. For that, I'm just going to go towards the select pages option, and only for the page I want to create this automation, I'm just going to give Pabbly permission for that page. And the page which I want to create this automation for is blog ideas. So I'm just going to search for blog ideas, and as you can see the same, so we are going to select it. So yes, over here you can see that I've successfully selected this page for which I want to give the permissions. If you wish, you can definitely give the permissions for all the pages. And after selecting the pages, we simply have to click on this allow access, and we can give Pabbly all the permissions because our data is secure with Pabbly. And yes, you can see that with this we have successfully connected our Notion account with our Pabbly Connect's workflow. And for the database ID, I'm just going to select my database right over here. So yes, with this we have successfully completed our connection, and now I'm just going to click on this save and send test request. But before clicking on this save and send test request, I'll just let you know that Notion is a pooling based application. So pooling based application means that these applications will not check for new data instantly. They're going to take some amount of time to check for the new data. And over here in the case of Notion, it is saying this trigger will check for new data in 1 hour. So as soon as I'm just going to click on this save and send test request, Pabbly is going to capture the last response or the latest response made in my Notion database. So now if I'm just going to click on this save and send test request, Pabbly is going to capture these details as my response. So now as soon as I'm just going to click on this save and send test request, Pabbly is going to capture this details right over here as response in my workflow. So as you can see that I've already added the title and the target audience for my blog. So now I'm just going to click on this save and send test request, and Pabbly is going to capture the same details which I entered. So these were the latest or the last details which I entered, so it captured the same. If I'm going to enter a new page right over here and add more details, then Pabbly is going to capture the response for that. Alright, so yes, with this we have successfully received the response, and over here you can see the response received. You can see the same title and the target audience which we have received in our trigger application response. So yes, with this we have successfully completed our trigger step, and we have successfully received the webhook response. And now what will happen is that as soon as a new database item is added into my Notion account, automatically within few hours this workflow is going to get triggered. And if you want to reduce or increase this time, you can go towards this 3 dots, set trigger time, and now from here you can reduce or increase this time. And now we're going to move on forward towards our action step. Now what I want is I want to generate blog posts using an AI agent. So for my action application, I'm just going to select my AI agent, and my AI agent over here is OpenAI. So I'm just going to search for OpenAI, and as you can see the same, so we are simply going to select it. I'm going to use OpenAI as my AI agent in this video. You can use any another AI application too. Now for my action event, I'm just going to select it as ChatGPT, and then we are simply going to click on this connect. And now once again it is asking me for the same. So if you have already connected your OpenAI account, you can click on this select existing connection and then save. But if you haven't, once again you have to follow me, click on add a new connection, and now we have to enter this token. And to get this token, it is saying kindly visit your OpenAI API keys page to get the API key. Alright, so to visit to this page, over here is the hyperlink. So we can simply click on this hyperlink and get redirected to the page. And over here is my OpenAI API keys page. And now to create a new key, we have to go towards this create new secret key, give our key a name. Let's say I'm just going to give my key the name as AI agent. And now for the project, I'm just going to select the project and click on create secret key, and over here is my key. So I'm just going to copy this key, and then we are simply going to paste it right over here. And yes, over here you can see that we have successfully pasted this key, and after pasting this key we simply have to click on this save. And yes, with this we have successfully connected our OpenAI account with our Pabbly Connect's workflow. And now it is asking me to select the AI model, so I'm just going to select it as GPT-4. You can select according to your preference. And now it is asking me for the prompt, so I'm just going to enter the prompt over here. So yes, over here you can see that this is the prompt I want to enter. Write a well-structured blog post based on the details below. Avoid using AI-related terms. Keep the language simple and engaging. Alright, over here I'm just going to enter the blog title and the target audience. So we are not going to enter it manually, but instead we're going to map it. So you must be wondering what is mapping. So mapping is a method by Pabbly which means inserting the data from the previous step. And as you know, our previous step was the trigger step where we selected Notion as our trigger application. So we are simply going to map the details from the response of our trigger application only, and as soon as we're going to map these details, automatically my details will turn dynamic and change with every new response received. Alright, so I'm just going to map this blog title. So I'm just going to look for blog title, and as you can see the same right over here which is the title, so we are simply going to map it. We're going to move on forward and map the target audience too. I'm just going to look for target audience over here, and as you can see the same, so we are simply going to map map it. And now we're going to move on forward. It is saying write a detailed blog post on topic. Once again, we are just going to map the topic right over here. I'm just going to look for topic right over here, which is the blog title. And as you can see the same, so we are simply going to map it. And you can see the rest of the prompt. So as you can see that I've written the prompt on my preferences. You have to enter your prompt on your preferences only. So now after entering all of this, we have to simply click on this save and send test request. And as soon as we're going to click on this save and send test request button right over here, it is going to generate me a blog post. So for that, we have to wait for a few seconds till it is generating the content for me. And yes, over here you can see that it has successfully generated me the blog. Over here I'm just going to show you the blog. You can see the whole blog post generated. You can see that it is perfectly structured in my preference. So you can see that we have successfully generated this blog, and now I'm just going to add this blog generated with the help of my AI agent into my Google Docs. For that I'm just going to add another action step, and now for the action application we are just going to select it as Google Docs. So I'm just going to search for Google Docs and we are simply going to select it. Now for the action event, I'm just going to select it as create a blank document and click on this connect. Now it is asking me to add a new connection or select an existing connection. So if you have already connected your Google Docs account with your Pabbly Connect's workflow, you can click on this select existing connection and then save. But if you haven't, you have to follow me, click on add a new connection, and then we simply have to click on this blue button which says sign in with Google. And now it is asking me to select the Gmail account. So I'm just going to select my Gmail account right over here. And after selecting my Gmail account, Pabbly is asking me for some permissions. So I'm just going to click on this allow and give Pabbly all the permissions it is asking for, because my data is secure with Pabbly. You can also click on allow. Pabbly is safe. And as soon as we're going to click on this allow, yes, you can see that with this we have successfully connected our Google Docs account with our Pabbly Connect's workflow. And now it is asking me for the document name. So I want the name of my document to be the title of the blog. So I'm just going to look for title of the blog right over here, and then we are simply going to map it. And I'm just going to click on this save and send test request. And after clicking on the save and send test request, we have received the positive response that we have successfully created a blank document with this title. Now I want to add the AI generated content, which is the blog post, into this blank document. For that, I'm just going to add another action step right over here. Once again, for the action application, we are going to select it as Google Docs. But this time for the action event, we have to select it as this append a paragraph to a document, which is going to insert our AI agent generated blog post into this blank document. So I'm just going to click on this connect. I recently connected my Google Docs account. So I'm just going to click on this select existing connection and then save. And yes, you can see that with this we have successfully connected our Google Docs account with our Pabbly Connect's workflow. And now over here for the document, we are not going to select one document, but instead we're going to map it, because I want this field to also be a dynamic one. So I'm just going to map this document right over here. I'm just going to open the Google Docs and I'm just going to search for the document ID. So I'm just going to search for the document ID right over here, and as you can see, this is the document ID. So we are simply going to map it. And now with this we have successfully turned this field as dynamic too. And I'm just going to insert the text, which is the message content which we received from our AI agent. And now I'm just going to click on this save and send test request button right over here. And yes, you can see that we have received the positive response that we have successfully added this message content in this document ID. So now I'm just going to open my Google Docs account and we're going to check for the new document created and also the AI generated blog post added. So as you can see, a new document has been created, and also you can see the AI generated content has been added into this document. So yes, now what I want is I want to attach this document link right over here into my Notion database so that my team can get more organized blog posts. For that, I'm just going to add another action step right over here, and first we're going to make this document a shareable one. For that, I'm just going to search for the action application as Google Drive. So I'm just going to search for it and select it. And now for the action event, I'm just going to select it as share a file with anyone and click on this connect. Once again, if you haven't connected your Google Drive account, you can go towards this add a new connection and then sign in with Google. I've already connected my Google Drive account, so I'm just going to click on this select existing connection and then save. And yes, with this we have successfully connected our Google Drive account. Once again, we're going to map this file ID. I'm just going to switch on this mapping erasing button right from here. We're going to erase this file ID and map the document ID which we received in the response of our previous step. Now once again we have made this field a dynamic one, and I'm just going to convert this document into a shareable one. For that I'm just going to click on this save and send test request, and yes, now we have successfully converted this document into a shareable one. Over here you can see the web view link. Alright, so now I'm just going to add this link right over here into my Notion database. For that, once again I'm just going to add another action step. For the action application I'm just going to select it as Notion, and then we are simply going to select it. For the action event I'm just going to select it as update page and click on this connect. I've recently connected my Notion account, so I'm just going to click on this select existing connection and then save right over here. And now for the database over here I'm just going to select it as block ideas only. For the page ID I'm just going to map the page ID. We're going to get this page ID from the response of our Notion database, which was our trigger step. So I'm just going to search for the page ID. For that I'm just going to look for ID right over here in this response, and as you can see that this is the ID, so I'm simply going to map this ID right over here. We are going to move on forward. I'm just going to add the generated blog link. Alright, for that I'm just going to open this Google Drive, and over here we are going to map this web view link. You have to keep in mind that you also have to map this web view link. Now after mapping this, we are simply going to click on this save and send test request, and yes, we have received a positive response that we have successfully added this link right over here into our Notion database. So I'm just going to open my Notion database, and yes, over here you can see the document link has been added. So I'm just going to copy this link, and we are going to open this link in a new tab to check that if it is correct or not. And yes, you can see that the correct document link has been added into our Notion database too. So yes, with this we have successfully completed our workflow, and now as soon as I'm just going to add a new title, the target audience, within 1 hour Pabbly is going to generate the blog with the help of OpenAI, which is my AI agent. Create a blank document in Google Docs, further add the blog content which we receive from my AI agent into that blank document, create that file a shareable one, and then add that file link into my Notion database. That too without any manual efforts. All of this is going to run in backend, and we don't have to come back and again to our workflow to click on save and send test request. I only have to add the title and the target audience, and within an hour the generated blog link would be added right over here. That too without any manual efforts. So yes, this was it for the video, and if you have any questions related to the video or the workflow, you can directly comment on this video. And for your reference, I'll just clone this workflow and share the workflow link in the description box so that you can access my workflow. I hope this video was helpful for you. Thank you for watching.
So not only these applications, but with the help of Pabbly Connect, you can integrate many more applications. So if you have any doubts, you can reach us at support@pabbly.com. If you have any queries, you can reach us at forum.pabbly.com. And if you have any pricing related issues, you can follow this website. And if you find our videos helpful, do like and subscribe our channel. Thank you for watching.